It's quite a substantial house you've designed for this site, but that's not immediately obvious from the street view. So how did you achieve that?
Basically, I decided that we had to, it's a linear house in a way that it really looks like it's one level from the street, and then we have a form that cantilevers over that one level. That becomes a bedroom form. But primarily, I decided to divide up into three pieces. And one piece is obviously the garage piece, which is not very transparent, although there's a clear story about the windows above it. And then there's the bedroom wing. And then between those two wings is, sort of the entry living area, which is really transparent.
And the mix of material helps also, I think.
It does. And, we wanted to keep the materials, very, very natural. So we played with both light and dark materials. There's not much color in the house, but we selected the limestone, which is Egyptian limestone early on, which is very light, but it's a little bit more varied than Jerusalem stone. And then we wanted to use local woods, cypress, and we ended up staining it to get it a darker color. So those two kind of the sort of light and dark thing play on one another. And then also the glass. The glass really appears like a dark material because for the most part when you're looking through it during the daytime, it kind of recedes.
So you've talked about the glass and the transparent elements on that street facade, and it's only really when you're inside the house that it opens up. How did you approach the design of that large open-plan living space?
Well, the interesting thing is, one of the things that the owner was really particular about is they wanted levels to the house, and so the whole house is tiers, and it kind of follows the slope of the side, which slopes pretty dramatically. And so from the main entryway, you actually have to take or 3 steps down into the living room and the kitchen. So they're recessed down into the house, and they so the kitchen, the dining room, and the living room are the 3 spaces that are all within the larger space of the living area of the house. And so, a couple of things, even though it's an open plan and they all feed into one another, they all have very, very separate identities. And the way we kind of, each one has a different ceiling height, the kitchen having a really high ceiling, it's a 2-story space. The dining room, even though it feeds out directly off of the kitchen and it's completely open to it, we wanted to give it sort of a completely different identity. And so we changed material. We introduced a really dark ceramic tile, and the way we sort of identified that room is we actually brought the tile from the floor onto the walls and onto the ceiling, so it reads as a box. And the interesting thing is it creates a view from within the house outside, because beyond the box is an enormous glass window with glass doors. And so from the kitchen, you actually look through this big black box, which is the dining room, through beyond to the lake.